Hey everyone, we are the Gratitude Girls.
The Gratitude Girls are in the house. Hi, Lori.
Hi Catherine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm so happy that we're here tonight giving a short and sweet training. So if anybody's tuning in for the first time tonight, my name is Catherine Asaro Myers, affectionately known as Rara, and I'm here in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada. I'm an executive with Send Out Cards and a full-fledged entrepreneur. I'm here with my partner, Lori.
Yes, I'm Lori Delcradecki. I am outside of Nashville, Tennessee, out by Williamsport Lake. And I am also an executive with Send Out Cards and been with the company for 16 and a half years.
Wow, that's lovely. 16 and a half years. Amazing. Lori, I thought we should, we talk about the subjects and what happens. And this happens to me in my business and our business. The element of surprise. And, it came to my attention today because I had yesterday and today two elements of surprise. They happen to be in my send out cards business because it's a very busy time of year right now. This is when people are, and because of what's going on in the world, everyone's really happy to hop online and get things done. So, it used to be a big deal to like hop on and buy from Amazon or go onto these stores and buy clothing and buy groceries. And now you can go shopping and buy cards. And it's not even an odd thing anymore. It's like it's mainstream. I remember right when we first joined and you joined Send Out Cards before me, it was like, what? Send a card online? Is it an e-card? So at this time of year, a lot of people start to get interested in how they're going to get their things done, right? So I wanted to talk about the element of surprise and how it shows up for us. And maybe it's a thing where we have to handle surprise. Obviously, we need to be prepared and be ready and be professionals, but how do you handle surprise when it comes up and it just like something rubs you the wrong way? Like, how do you handle it? To what level do you take the conversation or let it go on to where it's uncomfortable? And when do you put a stop to it? And when do you fire the client? And I don't want to say that because we're not firing our clients and send out cards. But in general, like this happens. Like what do you do? How do you handle it?
Right. Yeah. So I think, the first thought I had when you were saying that was, everybody has different things going on in their life, right? And nobody wears a post-it note saying, "Hey, this is what's going on with me," right? So we have to give that grace to people first off, right? And we never know what's going on in their life, and so take how they act, what they say with a grain of salt. We still never want to be a doormat, and that's where, yeah, you might have to step up, and if it's a situation you might have to fire a client or whatever, let somebody go, let someone not be in your life. But a lot of times it's just compromise, right? I mean, if everybody treated us on every occasion the way we deserved to be treated, right, then we might not have had some situations go as well as we would have wished, right? Because I'm sure all of us have had situations where we didn't act in the best interest of the person that we were standing in front of, right? And somebody may have given us grace to not dish back to us what we deserved, right? And so with that, just, and like the like that phrase, kill with kindness, right? What can you say that's kind and just to help things go along and run smoothly, and to save that relationship rather than sever that relationship? You save it, no matter what it is, business, personal, or whatever, right? Just, because that's it, because everybody has good days and bad days, right?
Yes. And when their day is coming at us, it's not about us, right? It's about what's going on with them. And I guess there are times they say that when we see something, it's a reflection of us, right? So if somebody's having something going on, then it's something that's happening with us, and we should really look at that and see how that is showing up. So I wanted to bring this up to say that it's a stressful time, and it's a stressful time of year. And maybe it's not. And so let's just say it's a wonderful time. But the holidays are coming and people are thinking about how they're going to get things done, and what will they do, and things are different than they were last year, and who knew. So when someone comes to you and they surprise you with something that they say or something that they do, give you some advice from my mother-in-law, may she rest in peace. She used to say, count to 10, then answer. So my husband says, you count to 1. I said, I'm from New York. That's my 10. 110. That's it. He's like, count to 10. That's what mom said. So I'm suggesting count to 10 any way you want. From New York, my 10 is quick. But think about giving some space when you do get a surprise. And we get them. And sometimes I'm surprised at the things that people say and do. And I'm like, that took me by surprise. So I'll count to 10, take a deep breath, and always handle yourself professionally. Think about giving other people space. Don't tell them what to do or stop them or push them. Just hold the space for them. Think about business as being fragile. Think of it as a fine piece of crystal. It can last forever if you take care of it. But if you take that piece of crystal and you drop it, there's a good chance it's going to shatter. So if your client is a fine piece of crystal and can last forever, hold sacred space, be kind, be gentle, be ready. And if a surprise occurs, then learn that breathing that we talk about and all the other things that we do. And let the person hear their own words. Let it reflect back to them, and let them feel and sense that vibration, because business is personal. When someone says it's only business, it's not personal. It is. We do business with people that we know, like, and trust. So if you get surprised and you start reacting, or you start not, being too nice about something because you feel that something was not right. And of course, don't let anybody say anything that's not right or out of hand. But in terms of a normal situation, customer service type situation, allow people the space to hear what they have to say, because maybe it's so ridiculous they just need to hear it. So don't talk too fast. Let them hear those words, and it may just change the next thing that they say, because these are times that are different, and some people are thriving and some people are starving, and everybody has a different perspective. So we don't know where they're coming from. So if they're coming to us for our business, then we can hold in our case of kindness, whether it's in coaching and bridging, in speaking, presenting, and in helping with the card, in creating a wonderful message or a sad message. We need to hold sacred space for that. So when we get surprised, you ever have a surprise birthday party and everyone goes, surprise, and you're like, oh, what is that? That feeling, let that just sit with you for a little bit so that you don't react, and keep business close to the cuff and close to the heart, so that we can cherish it and we can have a good reputation and have good clients, and they can treat us well and we can treat them well, because this is a time of year where we all need to help one another. So I'm thinking that the element of surprise, we can help one another by being kind and perhaps reacting a little slower. What do you think, Lori?
Yeah, I think that is really, really good. And it's funny, my mom used to say count to 5. So in New York, your 5 would go much faster. So, but still, and like they say, think before you speak. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right? And, when people say something, that's it. You don't always have to respond right away. And especially if it is in some sort of tone that we may not like, if you do, soft answer turneth away wrath, right? If you wait a minute, then they might think about what they said too. If you wait a minute, and then if you choose to act instead of reacting, then your answers might be different, or how you
Mm.
respond might be different too. And that can go with talking, and you don't have to, the same thing, you don't have to talk right away, right? You could, you know, make it look on your face like you're thinking about something, because you should be thinking about what you're going to say before you speak. And think about, you know, is what you're going to say, is it truth? Is it going to help the situation or help that person? Or will it hinder or hurt that person or that situation? Right? And even if it is truth, you don't have to always confront it with them.
Mm.
If it's a truth that they need confronted with, but you don't always have to do that, right? I mean, some situations you do, so you just have to weigh of what that is. But in the same thing, and I thought when you were texting too, it was interesting. I remembered a situation this week of someone that texted me, and the same thing, they texted me, when it's, something, it's, a paragraph, right? And it was words and some caps and things, and that, you know of course I feel wasn't deserved, right? And I could have snapped right back and said, you know this is why I didn't deserve those comments, and that was completely uncalled for. But instead, the same thing, I chose to just not respond for a while.
Mm. Mhm.
And that way the person could reread their text, which I'm sure they did. And a little while later, I got a response back before I ever even replied. I'm so sorry I said
Right.
this and acted this way, and you didn't deserve that, etc., right? And so a lot of times that's it. A lot of times people, and none of us are immune to it, but a lot of times might act in a way that either they shouldn't,
Mm.
or say something that they shouldn't, or and but in that moment, you know if you confront them, if they're confronted, it might not go as well. But if you just wait just that moment or two, and then answer with kindness, softness, caring,
Mm.
compassion, because the same thing, you never know what's going on in their life that's making them say something to you the way that they did. And yeah, the same thing, like you said, and you never know, maybe it's a reflection, you're attracting what you're mirroring. And so, so then you might need to think about that yourself, and think, and also, how do you want it to come back to you? How you answer them, then how are they going to respond back to that, whatever you say too.
Good point, right? What we put out comes back. And to be in gratitude, right? If we are in a good place, whatever does come to us, we can, instead of absorb it, which we don't need to do that, just let it go around us and then let things fall where they may. The element of surprise can go so many ways. So tonight, this training in any business, whichever business you're in, even if your business is very slow, unlike what's happening to our business at this moment, be kind and accept that the surprise is there for a reason. And like Lori said, just don't react too quick, too soon. Unless something's falling and that crystal glass is falling, then react and pick it up. But be in gratitude and be kind. And Lori, I think we could talk about this. It could go so many ways, but the short message is, when you get that surprise, like that surprise birthday party or that client that says something to you, just take a deep breath, take a moment, see if it resonates with you or not, or them, and then let the next moment go before you take a reaction or take any action on that. and let the surprise be something good.
Yes, absolutely. And always remember that, always remember that how you react and what you say, one is a reflection of you and your character and your personality, and then two is going to have a part to do with however they are going to react back to you.
Hmm. Good point. Yes. Meet, what did you say before? Like meet someone with kindness, meet people with kindness, right?
That's a better word. Yes. The
Yeah.
phrase that I've always heard is kill with kindness, but I don't like that first word though either. So,
I tried to turn it around a little bit. Well, on
yeah,
that note, meet people with kindness. I think that's a really good way to look at that. How can you meet surprise? Meet it with kindness.
kiss them with kindness. There we go.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's way better than the other one, right? Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Lori. So with kindness, our message is meet surprise with kindness.
Yes, absolutely. And everyone, that's the end of our training tonight. If you've missed some of our trainings, go to our page at gratitudegirls.com and you can put a little search in there and find all of our trainings. We have lots of different trainings there. And then also you can click on the coaching page if you want even more training. We'll see you guys next month.
Have a good evening or afternoon.